Hi, I'm Suzi Dailey, and we're here at the Marc Whitney Gallery in Laguna Beach. We're going to go inside and talk to Marc, so come on in. I'll take you inside. So, Marc, I have so many clients that love your work, and the people from out of town always ask me, why are there so many galleries in Laguna Beach?
There's a lot of galleries in Laguna Beach. Laguna Beach is an art colony, and it's been an art colony for like 100 years. So, like back to the 20s and the 30s, artists would come up here. It was very isolated. They'd set up their little studio, and tourists would come down from Pasadena in the summer. They'd come down to Laguna with the families, and they'd stay here, and they'd buy paintings, and they'd actually visit the artist studio. It was so isolated. There was no art dealers, so you were dealing directly with the artists. Those artists are like famous artists now. The guys that painted here in the 30s. So I grew up here in the 60s. When I was a kid, I was lucky enough to study with guys that were professional artists that were working in town, since gone.
This place is loved from all over the world. I mean, we have people here from Dubai and Saudi Arabia and Asia. And,
no, it's an international destination.
Well, it's so neat that you set up your studio here and your artwork, and you're famous and you're local. You're not a commodity that is,
Yeah, it's a very local thing. Yeah, I grew up here. I went to art school here. I did study back in Philadelphia at the Pennsylvania Academy for a long time, but me and my wife came back here, and we operate this gallery like a mom and pop shop, really. When you come in here to buy art, you deal with my wife, so you're getting it, straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, I know you're famous for these paintings over here of unmade beds.
Yes.
And I love them, and people in Laguna absolutely adore these paintings.
I tell people as a joke that I paint them because I'm tired, or that my mom made me make my bed.
Right.
The beds have to be unmade. I've painted beds that were made and they don't have the same emotional content, so.
Well, I love it, and I love how your signature goes across the bottom.
Yeah, people get a kick out of that,
It's really gorgeous.
I've had people say, you have drips here along the bottom. If you clean those up, I'll buy the painting. But
you're like, no, that's my
signature. It's the signature, yeah.
Well, what was the very first painting that you did? When you knew, oh my gosh, I'm an artist.
That's an interesting question, because when I went to art school, I had the older, the professor or whatever say, if you do this, you'll become an art. You can become an artist. I always thought I was an artist, even like back to very early ages. 4 or 5 years old, I knew I was an artist. So that always kind of struck me like, this guy's going to tell me I'm not an artist. I know I'm an artist,
Well, see, that's really interesting.
Yeah, so it's weird.
You knew.
Yeah, I always had that feeling. I come from a family of artists. I come from a family of sculptors and musicians and, National Academicians and whatnot. So kind of had that background. My mom encouraged it when I was really young.
How refreshing that your mom encouraged you too, because so often you hear parents that discourage their kids from learning art, and yet you've built such a successful business, and
it's not easy.
People love your work, and they want to hang your work in their homes.
Yeah.
It's so amazing, like when people are selling a home in Laguna Beach and they know that their home is going to be photographed, they actually want to put one of Marc's paintings in their home just so they can show they have one of his paintings when their home is pictured in, say, Dream magazines or so Private Jet magazine. Yeah. So it's just such a compliment to you.
The little sketches I do are right down here in Laguna off of like Brook Street, or sometimes I'll go down to Doheny, down in Dana, where I can park my car on the beach.
Yes.
I just drive my car, I go into the park, the state park, I park my car there's usually a picnic bench there, I haul my stuff there, sit down, paint, it's really easy,
That's so cool to know that's Doheny Beach. I love that. I love knowing that.
So I do like little sketches, like you saw the small sketches, then I come to the studio and I use my memory of it to make the big paintings.
I like how you're capturing the light too, because as we know, the light changes on the ocean so much, and you get these light and dark spots that are just so incredibly beautiful. Another type of painting Marc does are these incredible floral arrangements. So I just love the colors in this one.
Yeah, this is a ranuncula. That's they're grown in North County, San Diego. They only bloom for 1 month, the month of April.
It's one of my favorite flowers.
Yeah, it's a totally cool flower. I like it because it has like volume. It's a beautiful flower, and then they have hybrids now that have amazing things. Sometimes like the center is all bright green, but what I do is I paint from life. I set up little still lifes, and in April I paint a lot of flowers. And then the best ones, The ones I think I can grow into larger paintings, I'll make paintings of this scale. It's almost like oversized, so it has sort of a pop art quality to it.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been such a pleasure, and thank you for showing us
Thanks
the
for coming.
gallery and teaching us about your art. It's so magnificent. I'm Suzi Dailey with Dailey by the Sea, and we'll see you next week.